So like, when you have clients that want to structure, like, and I know as it's kind of a two-parter, like, you have, obviously you mentioned domestic and international clients. Like, what are the considerations that you also bring up, or like what's on your mind, or what are the clients usually, how do you educate them what they should be considering if they're considering structuring?
If they're considering structuring,
Yeah.
well, I think it's sort of what I answered before, which was when a client wants to, when they want to sort of go through this journey now, starting their business and in whatever field it may be, I think they really need to think about business planning. I think that's such an important thing which many people don't do. I think there was a statistic from the Small Business Administration which said something like about 56% of businesses that don't start with a business plan fail within the first 12 months. That's pretty huge.
Wow, that's huge.
Right? And something like 70 odd percent in the first 2 years. So planning is so important for a client. And I tell them, have you spoken to a tax advisor? Have you understood whether you have enough money for your business? Especially, I mean, this pandemic was a perfect example of showing people, hey, if you don't prepare for the worst, unfortunately, your dreams may disappear just like that in the blink of an eye. Wow. So I like to spend a lot of time pre-planning with a client about what their idea is, who they think their customers are, what's their route to market, what are some of the legal obstacles that they're likely to face, and the cost of overcoming those, whether that's licensing and permitting, whether that's employment, as you well know, is such a big factor, right? Understanding the sorts of contracts they're going to get into and the relationships they get into. If they're bringing on partners, I think that's where I spend a lot of time. When it's a business between two people, I don't mean husband and wife, right, but anyone beyond that relationship, essentially, any third party beyond that, even within family. I think it's so important for them to understand the dynamic and lay out the foundations from day one. What are the rules of engagement of our relationship as owners, right? What if things go south? How do we plan for that? And so we cover all of that in a buy-sell agreement. As you well know, we've worked on many of those together. And so, buy-sell agreement is it's an estate plan for a business. If things go wrong, death, disability, divorce, or other scenarios may happen, bankruptcy, right? You want to prepare for those so that you can continue to operate your business and not have business paralysis. So depending on if there are multiple parties, and it doesn't matter how many times I hammer it into people. I have a client who has 5 different businesses. He has a minimum of 4 to 6 partners in each of these different businesses. Wow. And for 2 years, I kept telling him, we must get a buy-sell agreement in place between your partners. And I would, remind them every, like clockwork. It would be a calendar reminder for me. 2 months, check in. Are we getting anywhere? Are we any closer? Are we any closer? And they never got round to it. And it was about a month and a half ago, he reached out to me and said, hey, Simon, we've got major problems with the partners across all of the businesses. Oh, wow. And it's an even more unique problem because it's different states and different partners. So it's not like you can fix the problem in one business and you negotiate it there. It's the same. You're renegotiating in 6 different businesses in different states with different partners with different personalities. So as much as I think it's important to just sort of spend the time on what's the appropriate structure and planning your business future, it's just as important to do that as it relates to the people you're going to work with, So I think this idea of just diving in head first, I think is really just a potentially fatal mistake, right?